Welcome to Glen, a scenic and peaceful glen with a dark history. Tonight I'm going to be sleeping in the glen and recounting the events which changed this place forever. So here we are in Glen, and it's a beautiful place. It's very popular with tourists, and you can see why. However, this place has a haunting past and has endured certain events which create a strange atmosphere here in the glen. To give you a better feel for the area, I've decided to camp on one of the surrounding mountains which overlooks the glen. So I've got a little bit of ascent ahead of me to start off this adventure. So this is what lies ahead of me. I need to climb all the way up this big old hill in front of me. Oof, this mountain is steep, and you wouldn't think I'm in Scotland with all this sunshine, but I promise you I am. Just having the weirdest spell of weather right now. And I've got my first view deep into Glen. Absolutely stunning. I think if I stopped every single time I saw a nice view up here, I'd never make it up this mountain. So let's continue on. I am going to quickly point out this view to my right though, because wow, I'll never get tired of seeing that mountain. The shape is just so iconic. I tell you what, it might be short, but it's a steep old mountain, this one. Pretty tough. Well, here we are. This looks like a nice wee spot to spend the night. Oh, that's nice to have a seat. It's a little bit breezy up here, but I'm hoping that it calms down later on. I have actually camped up here twice before, and it just always seems to be windy. I think it's because it's so exposed. But the spot is that good that I just had to come back. But I do have a story which might just change your outlook of this magnificent place. Oof, I had to come off the summit there, it was just too windy. So I'm hiding behind this big rock behind me here. But in order to recount today's story, we have to travel back in time, all the way to the 1600s, in a time when many people called this place their home. Many of the people who lived in this glen belonged to Highland clans, two of which feature heavily in this story, the Campbells and the MacDonalds. Each clan would wrestle for power, often raiding each other's lands and stealing cattle at every opportunity. One of these clans, namely the MacDonalds, had opposing views to the reigning monarch King William. Little did they know that these views would eventually lead to their demise. In a desperate attempt to bring all the clans into line, King William ordered they sign an oath of allegiance. Any clan who signed the oath before the 1st of January 1692 would be pardoned, and anyone who refused would be regarded as traitors. Now this is where things get a little bit confusing, so I'm going to take a seat and I hope I get this right. The MacDonald clan who we previously spoke about already had an oath in place to the deposed King James, so they were unsure whether they should accept this new oath being demanded by King William. Eventually James gave his consent, and it seemed like things were reaching a fairly peaceful conclusion. However, the MacDonald chief didn't receive this news until the 28th of December 1691, a pretty significant date, as it meant the MacDonalds had just 3 days to sign the oath or be regarded as traitors. Chief of the Glencoe MacDonalds took it upon himself to travel all the way to Fort William to set things right. Here he was hoping to sign the oath of allegiance, which King William had demanded. However, when he arrived, there was no one there to sign his oath. So he didn't give up, he travelled a further 60 miles to a place called Inverary, hoping to sign the oath there. Eventually he managed to sign the oath and his clan was safe, or so they thought. By the time Maclean had reached Inverary and signed the oath of allegiance, the date was now January 6th, 1692. He had failed to meet the deadline, and in the eyes of the king, his fate, and the fate of his clan members, was already sealed. We fast forward a month, and the members of the MacDonald clan residing in Glen are met by two companies totalling around 120 men, led by Captain Robert Campbell of Glen. Now, the MacDonalds had no reason to believe they were in danger, as they had signed the oath just a month ago, so they welcomed in these men, offering them bed and board for around 2 weeks. This level of hospitality wasn't common back in these times. However, it was winter, and the weather often poor, so they had no choice. And on the evening of February 12th, 1692, this beautiful glen would change forever. Captain Robert Campbell and his men received the order to destroy the MacDonald clan, and at 5 AM on the following morning, the signal was given and the men attacked. Some of the attackers entered the glen over the infamous Devil's Staircase, and the other troops surrounded Glencoe. The MacDonalds were trapped. Chief of the MacDonalds, Maclean, was first to go, and then the attackers made their way up and down the glen, burning houses and killing anyone under the age of 70, including women and children. In a matter of hours, a seemingly peaceful glen was turned into the gruesome scene of a massacre. 38 men, women and children were killed in the attack, and many more succumbed to the harsh winter conditions in this remote place. Glencoe was changed forever. And on that haunting note, I forgot I'm spending the night here, so I'm going to go and get my tent pitched because I'm slowly running out of sunlight. Ah yeah, that is really nice. And you've got Ben Nevis off in that direction, just up there. I think I can actually see people on top of it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's get my tent pitched. Well, the tent is all set up. It's a little bit wonky because the ground's not very even. But what is my luck? As soon as I'm done all that filming and trying to tell the story, struggling in the wind, listen now. You could hear a pin drop up here. Hardly a breath of wind. Oh, so unlucky. But as you can see, the sun has gone down behind that hill behind me. So I'm going to get my stuff inside the tent all set up, and then I can get some food on. It's not too bad a view from the tent, is it? Beautiful. Right, this is ready. Let me switch this off. And just in time to enjoy my dinner with the last of the light. Well, that was surprisingly nice. Darkness has descended upon the glen. Just a few spots of light coming from the cars that are driving by. Places are always slightly more eerie in the dark. It's getting quite late now, so I'm going to try and get some sleep, and hopefully I don't get attacked during the night. I've actually been joined by a family of mountain goats slightly further up the hill, so hopefully that's my only company for the evening. So yeah, I'll try and catch some kip, and I'll see you in the morning. Right, it is bedtime. I will see you in the morning. Not a bad view to wake up to. Well, good morning everyone. I had a great sleep last night. The wind died down at like midnight and I just fell straight asleep and I didn't wake up until right now, which is just before 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to try and find a nice big rock to enjoy my breakfast on. Got a couple of rocks to choose from, but I like the look of this one. Oh man, that is amazing. And I've got some brunch bars for breakfast, so I'm just going to sit and enjoy this view. Luckily nothing weird happened during the night and I was able to get a good sleep. I have actually heard stories of people hearing screams coming from outside their tent in the glen and the sound of crackling fire referring to those burning houses. I don't know what I'd do if I heard that, to be honest. I think I'd pack up my stuff and head down. But I'm just going to sit up here for a little bit longer and enjoy these views whilst I can. What a place. Well, I could easily stay up here forever. In fact, I might just see if I can build a house on the side of this hill. Look at that view. You just never get tired of it, it's something else. But I'm gonna have to drag myself off this mountain. So I'm gonna get my tent packed up, but I think I'll enjoy this view for 5 more minutes. Well, I am completely packed up and ready to go. As always, I've left no trace. You always want to leave the camp spot nice and clean for the next person. And what a camp spot this is. But I need to make my way off this mountain and see what today has in store. Let's do it. It's now just a case of me making my way back down the mountain and into the glen. I think this is the perfect place to end the video. I hope you found it interesting. I'm not really too sure if this is the type of video that you can enjoy, but I hope you've taken something from it. And let me know down in the comments what you would have done in that situation. If you were given those orders by your king to commit those atrocities, would you have acted differently? Let me know. And I'll catch you guys next week for another adventure.